Halo Campaign Evolved has done the impossible. It has united everyone in pure hatred. Everyone hates this walk slop piece of garbage. Everyone, and especially girl boss. My god, Spartan, I hope you're happy, because this is what giving money to people who hate you leads to. Also, I figured out why I want to call it a Halo Combat Evolved, because that was the previous name, was it not? Again, I'm not really that big of a Halo guy. I just like the lore. But wasn't that the previous name of the game? They literally took away the word combat because it's problematic. They took that out of Halo because it's problematic. Boys, the next remake of Halo 2 is not even going to probably have guns at this point, and there's going to be 2 girl bosses. My god.
The Halo Campaign Evolved situation continues to get worse. Over the past few days during its early access period,
I did my part. From that, I'm doing my part, okay? Everyone's doing their part. Like the video right now so more people join in on the completely 100% justified dislike towards this woke dumpster fire.
these scores have been really poor. There's been a lot of backlash on social media because of Cortana's design, the prequel missions that add in cringe girl boss
Initially, when I saw Cortana, honestly, on first glance, I was like, this is not great, but this is not that bad. But the more you look at it, the fucking worse it gets, honestly. I am so tired of them, specifically trying so hard to find actresses, models, or whatever that are not typically hot, but not exactly ugly, and then just shoving it everywhere. This is only happening because we let women in the games industry, which was obviously a massive mistake.
characters
Because they can't allow someone hotter than them to exist in a game.
and have MCU cinematic moments. And now we are talking about how not only on the Steam forums are people being silenced, but on the subreddit, they are shutting down any conversation about making Cortana more pretty with mods. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into
You need to understand, chuds. Beautiful women don't exist. Unironically, wokeness is just a constant Ouroboros.
the topic, if you enjoy the content, I consider there, like Capcom, for example, who think any sort of mods are like cheating. They are the equivalent. You are changing the core content, and that is completely unfair, which is insane, especially when we're just talking about aesthetic mods. But maybe that is the mindset of the people running the Halo subreddit and the Halo Steam forums. We do not have
Anyone running a subreddit has issues.
confirmation that these are developers. Most likely they are not, but they could be overlapping team members because they're just like generic community moderators and community managers. But this situation continues to get worse and worse and worse. Now, look, I don't think that the Cortana design in Campaign Evolved is the worst we have seen. Definitely not the level of Halo 5, but definitely not the best. And when you think of Cortana's best model, I think everybody can agree that that is Halo 4. She looked phenomenal. One of the best parts of Halo 4, that is for certain. But if you want to make her look in this game, in a copy of a game that you, in theory, should own, even though you're basically just renting it from these companies, it shouldn't be a problem if you want to mod it. And you also want to share your mods with other people, but no. Apparently, this just isn't acceptable because the r/Halo mods are deleting posts crapping on Campaign Evolved.
Obviously, they are. Modding is so also overrun by these activists. You know what's the worst part? There's just a couple of them. There's not even that many, but they're just really. People need to understand that telling these people no is not a bad thing. Telling them to get out of your space is a good thing.
Cortana, which had 2,730 upvotes with an 81% rate. And the longer I look at this Cortana, the more offended I personally become.
Yeah, okay, good. I'm not the only one because seriously, first time I saw her, I was like, this is not bad, but it's not exactly good. And the longer you kind of look at it, the worse it gets. It really is bad.
Because there are scenes in this game where she doesn't look half bad, but those are scenes that were used in promotional material. And I personally believe, not that they necessarily did this, but
Also, is this promotional material? Because here she does actually look like way better than this.
I personally believe that what they intended to do was bait and switch you, make you believe that Cortana looked better in the game based on the trailers, and then when you actually get into it, you see that you are not getting maybe what you paid for. We have seen over the
I actually want more devs to do this because this is like a super shortcut. Whenever a dev blatantly lies in their promotional material and the real game is like nothing like they show, people are gonna lose trust in that developer so much. Doesn't apply to YouTube, okay? Relax, it's fine, don't worry about it. But for gaming, it's like, you spent your money. You spent your money and they lied to you? Fuck no, that's bad.
years, them intentionally toning down women in video games, especially games coming from Xbox slash Microsoft. And it's no shocker to see that anytime you discuss that you think she looks ugly or unappealing, or you think that she could look better, they want you to shut up because you are objectifying women and women don't exist to be nice on the eyes for you. So let's head on over to this post
Except they do.
that yes was deleted. It says sorry, this post has been removed by the moderators of r/halo, and this screenshot shows what it said. It was pretty short, sweet, to the point. I can't not see Germa when I look at her. Might take a bit, but since it's on UE5 now, I assume basic UE5 modding techniques will work fine for this, and working on a mod for Cortana in Campaign Evolved. It was properly tagged as fan content. It's not like they were going on and on about how, you need the most jiggly-licious version of Cortana possible. This person was being pretty level
I mean, it couldn't hurt, you know what I'm saying?
headed, pretty fair. But when you go and you click on the Reddit thread, yeah, I mean, it is removed. How would that work if cutscenes are pre-rendered? Someone asks. And Archer Boy 123, the OP, said, yeah, unfortunately, that is a big snag. I know their original plan was to launch with real-time cutscenes, but I doubt that'll ever happen in the future. Who knows, though? Maybe they'll update it down the road. Currently, the most I can do is edit the models
Real-time cutscenes are the best because you can do some crazy shit with them and it's funny.
in-game assets. We'll see, though. And then he talks about how he doesn't mind the body proportions. He just wants to change the face, and potentially they want to import 4 and 2A's body model, though. I mean, this
You know what's actually strange? The fact that we never get some kind of woke fat insert of this. They're never doing that. They're just making them ugly on the face, and they're making their bodies just, they dimish. But they're never making them fat, which is very racist if I think about it.
thread was being pretty like level-headed, very fair. There weren't like insults being levied towards anybody by the OP or even by the people commenting, even though there were some very snarky, rude comments here. This just got removed, which is insane. Here's another thread talking about the Halo campaign evolved Cortana. I feel like I'm literally seeing something differently to everyone else. Uglification of characters is
Yeah,
a big
this one's
topic in
bad.
this sub and many others, and I've seen loads of people calling the new Cortana ugly. And usually I would agree with things like this, as I hate uglification in games and media in general, but I really don't see it here. She looks great to me. I mean, obviously nowhere near
You're a Redditor. No one cares about your opinion. Sit down, please. Thank you.
Cortana level of Halo 4, but still, I don't get it in this case. Now, I don't think that she looks amazing. I don't think that she looks extremely offensive either, but Cortana should be a banging lady, and she should be like a 9 or just a straight up 10 because again, she is a fictional character and she previously looked way better. I also don't like this haircut, by the way. I think that she's had better haircuts. That's for certain. People are, discussing about how she's definitely the ugliest Cortana we've ever had. I don't think it's as big of a deal as people are making it out to be, but I also don't understand what was wrong with the last one or why they felt the need to make her look like this. And yeah, it's because they don't want men to enjoy their entertainment. They want to avoid the male gaze in order to appeal to the male gaze. So, unfortunately, we end up with situations like this. And when you look at who was running Halo Studio slash 343 for several years, you will understand very quickly the problems that we are facing. Now, the Halo subreddit has banned people before and silenced people before. I had done a video on this back in 2025, but the Halo subreddit was banning Men's Awareness Month posts, but they were, of course, perfectly fine with things like Pride Month posts and trans visibility posts and all of these things. But as soon
Listen, inclusivity for all doesn't actually mean inclusivity for all, okay? It's like, listen, if you're a white man, definitely not. If you're a man, definitely not. If you're a black man, still at the top of the oppressor, sadly. It is what it is, okay? It's just not for men, okay? Inclusivity is a great thing that is for everyone except the men, okay? It is what it is, okay? I didn't make the rules, I just follow them.
as it comes to men who built up this series, oh yeah, that's a problem, that's offensive. And then when Halo Infinite had released, the subreddit got locked down. They were claiming that mods were receiving death threats and there was potentially doxing
Classic.
going on. And they claimed that the subreddit got
Classic lies.
so toxic they had to silence all discussion on it, which I personally think is insane. I remember when this was all happening, I didn't see
Well, of course this is insane. You're literally talking about a bunch of people who fucking treat this as a job, but they don't get paid, and they're doing this for free.
like a massive amount of posts like this. No reason to lock down the subreddit. I think that really they just are sensitive Sallies who don't want negative discussion happening. But this is a article over on Smash JT's website where he was pointing out all of their Pride Month posts and how this is very normal for them. But also, the chief of staff and the chief at Halo Studios was someone named Melissa Boone. I believe that is how you say her name. And her role was to ensure the smooth running of the studio, including a little bit of everything: a problem solver, a process builder, a strategic thinker, an executor, an integrator, communicator, an advisor. Basically, she had her claws sunk into every element of the studio. And of course, she has left.
Well, of course, she hired the people. This is the problem. You have literally HR who do nothing, but they are the ones who, at the end of the day, can affect every position hired, and it's crazy.
She is now working over at Riot Games. They can keep her, but this is somebody who did want to heavily push and promote diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives at the studio. And as I always say, the best person for the job should get the job, regardless of what your sexuality or your skin color is, or your identity, or whatever you want to say. If you are the best person for the job, you have the best resume, the best history, you should get the job. But the problem is that when you have these initiatives in place, the best person generally doesn't get hired because the best person is a man or a white person, and well, that just
And that's evil.
doesn't fit their quota of the day, and it's very
Wait, what the fuck is... Wait, I wasn't reading it before, but what the fuck is this? She holds a PhD in social psychology, probably false, focusing on AIDS and HIV. And I struggle to see what this has to do with sci-fi shooter franchise. Well, to be fair, if you're HR, you're obviously not gonna associate anything with gaming in general. Not all parts of the company need to be associated with gaming, okay? the same way, if you have a coding company, you don't want your CEO most of the time being a coder because that's not that you have already coders. Okay, the CEO should be doing other things than coding. It's that simple. So an HR lead specialist or whatever you want to call it doesn't have to be a gamer. But this just first line is completely baffling my shit.
And it's very unfortunate, but yeah, someone like this doesn't understand, hey,
Ah, that's my Halo right there, boys. Is what it is. Anyway, that was a very dark 10 out of 10. Have a nice day. Bye. Halo's cooked. See ya.